All right, what's up, everybody? This is Jay. Welcome back to my channel. I don't typically watch news channels that much, particularly the mainstream news channels, but I happened to stumble across this little clip right here of Joe Scarborough of The Morning Joe saying this.
Hillary Clinton never challenged the results of the 2016 election. In fact, she gave a concession speech the next morning saying she hoped the next morning she hoped Trump would be a successful president for all Americans. In fact,
So yes, Hillary Clinton never ever denied the 2016 election. We'll take a look at this.
Your name doesn't come up much on any campaign except for Donald Trump's. Lock her up is still a big popular line.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And I take responsibility for those parts of it that I should. But Jane, it was like applying for a job and getting 66 million letters of recommendation and losing to a corrupt human tornado. And so I know that he knows that this wasn't on the level. I don't know that we'll ever know everything that happened, but clearly we know a lot and are learning more every day, and history will probably sort it all out. So of course he's obsessed with me. And
Yeah, she may have conceded the next morning, but all she did after that was say over and over again, he's an illegitimate president. In fact, she outright might have actually said, in fact, not might have, she did say that the 2016 election might have been stolen by Russia. And for those of you who want to come back and say, well, oh, Trump claimed that the 2020 election was stolen. Yeah, he absolutely did. And he was wrong in doing so. And he was a dumbass in doing so because it wasn't true. And we've now gotten to see that it wasn't true. I mean, his own campaign managers and the people working for him confirmed, I think, a few months ago, or some even well before then. There was just a recent report on it, though, that said that he lost because he did. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if you want to say that Trump is guilty of inciting violence on January 6th, I mean, sure, you could say that. I mean, he made false claims. But can I just point out that that is a far cry than using the little FBI to spy on your political opponent and come up with this fake hoax about how Russia somehow hacked our own election and prove years later, even though many people knew that it wasn't a thing, years later prove that it was false and have basically no consequences of it. I'm just saying, when you put those two together, it seems kind of bullshit. And it's not really a left or right thing. It's more of a mainstream, or not mainstream. It's more of a part of the establishment versus not part of the establishment. Who's part of the establishment? Hillary. Who's not part of the establishment, or, well, wasn't before, but certainly fell into it? Trump. You know, I mean, Trump, I thought, was a very disappointing president. He obviously lied a lot, but occasionally he would come out and tell you the truth. Like how there is a deep state, or how, yeah, they are coming after you. And he relentlessly attacked the media. He is not nearly as establishment as most politicians and most of the mainstream media. And that's one of the things I like about it. That's probably the thing I like about him the most, even though I don't like him that much. Anyway, I just think it's important to mention that. And it's also not just Hillary. In fact, I did not too much researching because I literally typed it in my search engine. Now, this is from the Republican War Room or Party, so you could take it or leave it, but these are all Democrats who have denied the... let's see. Let's see what we have here. Okay, this is the Republican National Committee. 150 examples of, or over 150 examples of Democrats denying elections. Take a look at this is going back from 2002. You know what's funny? Al Gore actually had a right to do it because his election was probably stolen. See, it's funny because both Hillary and Trump claim, stolen election. Bullshit, right? Al Gore, apparently, according to this, he might have said it a couple times, but it's not like he fought for it. He literally conceded twice. He conceded once. The Supreme Court then said that it couldn't be, that he did win Florida, even though reports later said that Gore actually had more votes. And Gore wasn't willing to fight for it, so he conceded again. But yeah, that's a whole nother thing, but Gore actually might have won. Now, I don't know this for certain, but I know there's a lot of evidence that might point to the fact that he did win and that George Bush lost, and we would probably have been in a better place. Okay. So Gore and his wife said that. So Clinton took away the. Okay. Jimmy Carter. Oh my God, he's going. There's a few times he did it. So if you look at all this, this is just everybody denying the election. Now I'm sure the Republicans have done it too, perhaps just as much. Even Stacey Abrams with her election, yeah, there's a lot of this. So what is the point that I'm trying to make here? Everything's bullshit. Everybody bullshits. Both parties bullshit, and they're each equally as guilty of this sort of thing. It's just that depending on how establishment you are or not, it tends to sway. Like, for example, if you're on the right but you're part of the establishment compared to the left, it's probably going to sway in the other direction. And in this case, it's doing the opposite thing. Here's a 12 minutes denying. Ooh.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
How can you win with Russian interference, though?
That's
what
real
I'm
thing.
scared about in 2020.
But rightly.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So how do you fight against that in 2020?
You are absolutely right.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate?
All right. You know what? You guys could go watch that video. I'm not going to play the whole thing here, but you get the point. It's here 12 minutes of Democrats denying election. So this just goes to prove my point, which I've already reiterated. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. Trash on both parties as always. It's always fun for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.